Welcome everyone to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris? You hear me? Lost Chris for a second there. You hear me, Chris?
Strap in, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a hell of a show tonight.
All right, so finally I decided to see the Predator 2018 movie that we heard how horrible it was, ripping the crap out of it. It's worse than I thought. Like, way worse. The first 2 minutes of the movie, I couldn't stand everything about it. The special effects of the spaceship fighting the spaceship was like worse than, like, say, Flight of the Navigator, and the Power Rangers special effects from the TV show with Rita Repulsa and all the creatures or whatever was better. This was like they spent no money on the spaceships. It looked so fake, like you would go to the dollar store and buy one of those mock-off ships and then do like a little program from an app on your phone and create like a whole thing like it's flying, okay? This is like the worst special effects I've ever seen. No reason why this is happening whatsoever. They're Predator fighting Predator. Doesn't make any sense. Then the Predator opens up a wormhole, and for some reason, the other Predator doesn't follow it. Okay? It goes into the jungle. I got to tell you right now, this movie was so ridiculous, Chris. Like, they tried to show a person with Asperger's with the kid, right? And they tried to do a whole I didn't even think it was a Predator movie. It was like group. It was like, thank you for educating us about Asperger's. Thank you for educating us about Tourette's. Thank you for educating us about bullying. Thank you for educating us that people don't treat women right. And the other thing too is you have Olivia Munn, who's supposed to be a biologist, right? So how she becomes weapon master, fighting master, super strength, leaping onto buses, I have no idea. Mm-hmm. They had this carcass of the Predator was sleeping, and for some reason, just to have an excuse for her to take her clothes off, first she gets decontaminated, so she's naked. They don't really show anything, which whatever. Then the Predator wakes up, and she goes in the room, and it says, you have to decontaminate. The guy's killing everybody, right? Why would you take your clothes off when you're not even contaminated? What is the thing going to do? Like, beep? She takes her clothes off for no reason. While the blood is going all over the thing, strips down naked, watching it naked, holding herself like this. The Predator goes in there, and it's like, oh, it's a woman. I don't attack women. Really? The only reason a Predator wouldn't attack a woman in the other ones is because they were pregnant. But she's not pregnant. So what the hell is that? Like, it doesn't bother with her. Next thing you know, she's putting gear on that perfectly fits her, arming up with, like, weapons, and she's chasing after the fucking thing, which is like, what? The other guy from the beginning that he got his whole platoon wiped out, all of a sudden he knows how to fucking use the Predator gear for no fucking reason, and he decides, oh, I have enough time to mail it to my house. And his kid activates the shit, and the Predator's able to track where the other Predator is. Right? You got this a-hole with an ego that's part of this organization that wants the ship, wants the gear, right? Most of the movie, it's like this guy from the military fighting the other guy that was a military that, like, the Predators are running around, and it's like, fuck them, because we're fighting each other. It's like, what the fuck's happening? The people, the acting was horrendous. They're like, oh, a Predator, oh, like, they're not even running. They're not even like, oh my God, it must be in their contract that they don't run or exert themselves. Like, the vehicles are going at 10 miles an hour, literally, and they're talking about mental illness. You mean to tell me that you cut that famous actor, right, Chris? Edgar, so almost, right? What's his name?
Oh, I'm not
sure.
Well,
you cut a famous.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Edgar, Sharon, what's the name? Edgar something almost, right? Well, anyway, they cut him so they could have this bullshit dialogue to each other. Like, Thomas Jane, who was the Punisher, he had Tourette's. He said something like, F a woman's pussy, whatever the hell it was, right? And she's having...
exactly what scene you're talking about.
She's having a conversation with him. What'd you say to me? Why did you say that? They never once tell her that the guy has Tourette's, right? Like, they're all... The guy's like, yeah, I shot myself in the head because I felt like it. And it's like, what? Like, they're all the mentally ill people. First of all, none of this would fucking happen, okay? At all. None of this shit would happen. You wouldn't have, like, kids being fucking abducted with the military. You wouldn't have, you wouldn't have a school. Like, the teachers would not leave the kid in the fucking class by himself, okay? If there was a fire drill. That's bullshit, okay? And the kids, like, and the bullies start walking into the school and there's a fire drill and picking on the kid. What the hell are they trying? I don't know what this movie is supposed to be. Was it trying to say, oh, bullying never wins, like bullies don't win? Was it trying to say, oh, kids with Asperger's are smart? Okay. Like what were you trying to convey with this? And then the whole thing is they're so worried about battling each other. Then they're battling the Predator. And for some reason, like, they're chasing after the fucking thing. Like, and then all of a sudden they stop chasing after the thing. They decide to get a hotel because Olivia Munn was sedated. So they're watching her on the bed. Meanwhile, what is the Predator doing? Like, why wouldn't he be on top of him in 5 minutes? Like, is he chilling? Like, I didn't, like, they just, he's busy doing something, the Predator. Like, there was no, I think it was like point and shoot. It's like, yeah, run, be surprised. Like, he wrote this on the fly. Dude, this was like, they were so confused. Nobody knew what they were doing. There was a scene where Olivia Munn went in his house with his wife there, grabbed something out of the fridge, never had any dialogue with the wife, just left and all of a sudden assumed he had a trailer. Makes no sense. None of this movie made sense whatsoever. The fact that the kid, all right, I know kids with Asperger's are smart, but there's no way you could learn an alien language without any type of reference of an alien language. It doesn't matter if you're a genius. You need to have something. So, like, that's bullshit. And all of a sudden, the guy, they just scoofed. The guy knows the alien language too, the father. Like, for some reason. The Predator gets his ass kicked by the Super Predator or whatever. They don't explain any of that shit. Like, they just get to see a visual in the helmets. It's, oh my, this movie is like a million times bad. And the whole movie, it's like, oh, are they going to team with the Predator now against the Super Predator? That would be retarded. And then they're like, let's go, let's get away. And the Predator's staring at them, and he's not even killing them. Like, even the other Predator wasn't really killing them. It was like trying to divert them and stuff. Then the Predator talks to them. The Super Predator translates. Like, has a conversation. Like, oh, I just want to blow up the ship. Don't get in my way. I'll give you a head start. Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? What is this? Then he's like, oh, I'm going to face the champion, which is the kid, not the soldier. And then he grabs the kid by the neck and he throws the kid in a pod. It's like, wait a minute. Next thing you know, they're all jumping on top of the spaceship. It's like, wait, what? While the fucking thing's moving? That's what this is just. There's dogs. There was Predator dogs that they're all like just standing there, like looking at it, that they could fucking eat him in 5 minutes. Then they're shooting it. Then for some reason, they must have gave one Predator dog brain damage. So now instead of him being a vicious monster, he's a dog now. So like now he's like their puppy. Which is like, what? The guy that was a bad guy, the military guy, when they're fighting each other, they didn't give a shit about the Predators all of a sudden. The Predator all of a sudden, right? Then all of a sudden, the Super Predator becomes too much. They're like, yeah, all right, we're going to team up. Sure. We're together now. Meanwhile, they're going to kill each other. So now you have the heroes with the bad people behind them. Like, they could shoot them in the fucking head. Everybody trusts everybody all of a sudden. This was a goddamn mess. Then they must have jumped ahead like fucking 6 months, and this kid is like the scientist in the fucking thing, and his father is the highest fucking general of the military ever. Like, and then they have they open up this fucking thing, and it's like a fucking Predator armor, which is like, what the fuck? What is this? They made fun of the military, like the military are idiots, and people that are not even trained with the military can kick their ass. Like, I was just like, what the fuck is happening in this whole movie? This guy was more important with trying to send a message about political, Asperger's, bullying. Like, the Predator were just there. The Predator, this was not a Predator movie. They were like the first Predator probably was in the movie like 5 minutes. Maybe, right? If you put it all together. The other Predator was like a few minutes. The whole thing was bullshit, jargon, talking. And it was just nonsense dialogue, comedy that didn't work. Just not, I don't care. Like, why do you want to care about these people? Are stupid and horrible, right? And Olivia Munn all of a sudden trusts all these mental illness people because, the alien's like worse. Like, that doesn't make any sense either. And I don't know how she's trained. She's leaping all over the place. I don't get it at all. I don't. This was the worst Predator movie in existence. This was on par with Alien 3, and I think Alien 3 was even better. And that's me saying a lot because Alien 3, I hate that movie. So this was worse than Superman 4 Quest for Peace. This was fucking worse than, this is the worst fucking shit I've ever seen. The Predator. Shane Black. That you should be, never should do a movie again. You should be embarrassed. You know what? This movie, Chris, I saw this movie. You know how I'm not confident all the time about, I don't know if I could do movies. I'm not good enough. Let me tell you something. After seeing this garbage, right? This made some millions. I'm going to fucking write a screenplay. I'm going to write a motherfucking screenplay. I'm going to make a goddamn movie. Because if this mother can put this shit out, my thing would be $500 million, easy. Like, this shit sucked. It's a disgrace. This is not even worthy of a B movie direct to video. This is Attack of the Killer Donuts was a better movie than this. Literally. Unbelievable. I'm like so confident now in my own ability that I can actually write a better movie because this is garbage. And this guy put a lot of effort in. He did reshoots and shit too. Wow, dude. Wow, you just wasted millions of dollars because you don't want to be in the daylight. It didn't help this movie. Dude, it wasn't even like a minute or two that the Predator was fighting the Super Predator. Whatever. It was over.
Oh, yeah.
You saw it, though, right?
I did see it, yes.
It is dude. Dude, this shit is horrendous, dude. Dude.
I remember watching it, and I knew going in, I was like, I'm most likely not going to like this, but let me just see. Because there have been films that I've heard that, are really bad. And then I'll watch it and I'll be like, I don't think this was that bad. This was not one of those movies. This movie, like, I actually wanted to turn it off.
In the first couple of minutes, I was almost done. I was done with it already.
You know the one thing that, and you said this already, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to add to it because you basically said exactly what I was thinking, but the main, you know what I got from the main cast of this movie, like these characters, that they all had some sort of mental illness, like each of them.
Right.
They were like, well, which mental illness do we want to focus on?
Exactly.
Well, let's focus on all of them.
Yes.
And we'll make it a metaphor for no matter what mental illness is, or no matter what mental illness you may have, you should still be represented. Which
right.
is
This movie should have been called Representation. That's what it should have been called.
My thing is this. Like, I know a couple of people who suffer from some of these things that these people suffered from in these movies, or in this movie. And there's one common thing that no matter what mental illness you have is usually is usually a factor for all of them. Usually your mental illness doesn't define who you are. Right. It's just part of your everyday life, and you have to deal with it. Right. I felt like these characters, like, they were just characters to embody whatever mental illness they had.
Right, they were superheroes because of their illness.
Like Tourette, like the guy who had Tourette's, right?
Yeah.
Like he didn't really have a character other than he has Tourette's.
Right.
So he was basically like Tourette's, and I was like, that's really stupid.
Right.
Like why would you like you want to represent like don't make the illness the character. You know what I'm saying? And
I agree.
There was that one scene, I know exactly which one you're talking about, where Olivia Munn is trying to leave the hotel room that they have her in. And he says something derogatory toward her because he has Tourette's and it's
right.
it was his tics at the time, right? And she kept repeating it, like, what did you say this to me?
Right, that was a waste of 5 minutes.
And I'm sitting there like, somebody please tell her that this man has Tourette's.
That's what I said.
We'll stop this. But they played it off as a joke, right? So I was like, okay, wait a minute. So Tourette's guy has a tic. They make fun of it.
Right.
But we're trying to make people understand that Tourette's is a thing and it's not to live with. Okay, but the main issue I had with all of this is why did they feel the need to complicate the Predator?
Right.
We didn't need this backstory where it was like they're gonna take over the planet because of global warming.
Yeah, I was like, you notice how everybody came to the conclusion without any evidence whatsoever? Do you notice that? There was no evidence whatsoever
they were like,
to support these theories,
like,
they all knew.
They were like, oh, their planet is like warmer than ours, so our planet must be reaching their environmental tolerance level. And I was like, I normally I don't want to like jump down like a story's throat or like the writer's throat and no, you're wrong. But in this case, you're wrong. That's not why the Predator is.
Right. Do you see how they tried to retcon the first Predator? Oh, he wasn't really here to hunt. Yeah, bullshit. Yeah. Bullshit. That no wonder why Arnold Schwarzenegger said no.
It was like, oh, they incorporate the DNA of the strongest hunts into their body, and I was like, but if they defeated the strongest one, doesn't that mean that they weren't the strongest?
Correct.
Peter was the strongest.
Yes. Yes.
Even though from another planet, it proved itself better than whatever it just hunted. Like
in other words, if they went, all right, say the first Predator movie, right? Let's just say, hypothetically speaking, in the first Predator movie, he kills everybody with no issue, right?
Right.
Automatically, the Predators will be like, we're not coming to this planet. This planet is not sport. This planet, these people suck. Survival of the fittest. We're not going to bother. And let's go to another planet. But because Arnold Schwarzenegger gave him a run for his money, he sends word out that this shit is the place to come back, man. This is sport. You got to come down here and try this shit. And then we have Predator 2. And then,
they already knew that because of Predator 2. Like, they already knew Earth was a place they should hunt. But, I mean, I just don't understand this idea. Like, oh, well, they incorporate the DNA of whatever they hunt into their bodies. And it's like,
and they tried to insinuate, I don't know if you caught that. They mentioned the Predator 1, Predator 2, but they tried to insinuate that they've had some dealings with the Predators off air for like prequel adventures that they could do for a movie or some shit. Like that, they've been hearing frequently. Huh?
No, you know what they were talking about? They were talking about AVP.
So it's the same universe.
They had the spear that Lex had from
the
one.
So in other words, that's canon too. Yeah.
That's what they were implying because, we know the 712 different alternate endings that this movie was supposed to have.
Right. So now you're saying that if that's canonized, right? That means that David didn't invent the aliens, right?
Not in this universe.
So it's a different universe now. All I know is.
Don't think it's going to be a universe.
I got to tell you right now, I don't think anybody has to worry about this movie because I think nobody acknowledges this movie as a Predator movie at all. And now that Disney has it, we don't have to worry. This movie will never make it to my collection ever.
This is the problem, though, is that as far as we know, this hasn't been retconned yet. So this is actually the fourth Predator film.
Right.
That's why I keep saying, and it's the Alien Covenant, it's the Predator, it's probably going to be Terminator Dark Fate. these franchises are in a very bad place.
Oh yeah.
Nobody cares about them anymore. It's ridiculous.
But you know what? Put some goddamn fucking effort into the Predator movie. If you're gonna have the keys to the kingdom and do this fucking movie that you appeared in the first fucking movie, then do the fucking shit right, though. What the fuck? Why would you put out this piece of shit movie?
I'm gonna be very honest with you. I don't think that this movie was Shane Black's fault.
Really?
I honestly think that a lot of this was Fox.
Well, didn't he put a pedophile in the movie that they had to cut out too? That was his friend?
He didn't say anything.
So he didn't. How could this not be of him if he wrote the script?
That is his problem. But
what?
I believe, from what we heard about all the reshoots and this, that, and the other thing, I think he had a movie that he did one way. Fox saw it and they were like, "No, we don't like this. Change it to like this." And that's why Shane Black, because he went social media silent for months, and before
he was supposed to. He made a whole thing that his movie. Yeah, well, you are right to a degree, because the whole point was, remember how we were saying that Arnold was going to be the star of it? Fox did not want Arnold to be a star of it, so he had to change it, right? Which I get that, but still, you don't make a shit movie like this. Well, I mean,
this is the thing, though. Like the executives of Fox, and this goes for any production company, really. They probably thought, no, we know what the audience wants. Do it like this. And Shane Black was probably like, no, you don't know what you're doing. And then they did it, and now we have this movie.
But he didn't leave the movie. He still worked on it with them to the end.
Yeah, he worked on it. But remember, he went social media silent for months, where beforehand he was very active about the movie.
So no, he wasn't promoting, in other words.
That's a telltale sign that he probably got frustrated with what they asked him to do.
Well, whoever's the cause of it, it's an embarrassment. That I'm going to tell you right now, the sad part is, if anybody sees this movie and has never seen a Predator movie before, you will never get them to watch any of the Predator movies after this.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
you will never get them. You know how hard it would be for them. Oh, no, that sucked, but look at this. No, people won't. People won't, and that's bad. I cannot believe that in this day and age, with all these blockbusters, that shit gets out to be made like this. Like, I am really embarrassed by this movie.
I gotta tell you. Go back and watch Predators now. You'll have a newfound respect for that movie.
Shit.
I'm telling you, man.
Bro, I'm Predatored out right now, man. And then why waste dialogue explaining the fucking name of Predators? And Olivia Munn's like, well, that's not what you call a predator. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like, why you... The whole movie was bullshit jargon talking. You didn't need any of it. This could have been... Chris, this could have been a movie that had nothing to do with Predator. Like, easily. They could have been like, oh,
I know, yeah.
Like, it's like they decided to take a script from something else that they didn't film, and they mixed it in. And first of all, when does a kid ever get to be a head scientist of anything? That's ridiculous. And how are we supposed to know about his wife being a goddamn fucking Sarah Connor, fucking sniper rifles in the fucking ceiling all of a sudden? I mean, right, Chris?
It's a terrible movie.
How do we know about her character? I don't know anything about his wife. How are we supposed to know that?
I don't know anything about anybody except they all have some sort of mental illness.
She's trained. She's like, try it. Like, she's fucking military too. I don't know his wife. How would I know his wife is military? Like, how would we know that? I was like, oh yeah, global warming. How the fuck do you know global warming? Do you have fucking evidence for anything? Oh, they gave us a gift to fight. So like, why, if you know that there's armor in the encasing, why are you surprised when they open the fucking armor? This is like horrendous. I mean, wow.
They didn't know.
No, but they're like, oh, they gave us something. Like
they didn't know what it was, though. Not until it opened up.
Please. This.
But here's my question, though, right?
Right.
Okay, you have one. You have one suit of armor.
Right.
If the whole fucking Predator army is going to invade, what are you going to do?
You got a nice helicopter on your back. What the fuck is that going to do?
Do they not
go gadget fucking predator?
But do they expect us to believe that these aliens who designed this armor, keep that in mind, this is an extraterrestrial weapon that they made. They don't have some sort of failsafe in case this thing ever gets turned against them?
Of course.
Like a simple self-destruct mechanism, or like, I don't know, some kind of like remote shutdown.
Are we to say that there's a whole bunch of super predators all over the place?
I guess.
Because, like, I mean, they never established that. They made it like this is the only one. Like, so now, in other words, the predators are fighting each other, like all of a sudden for no reason.
Well, this is basically the plot of Predators, where they had the Black Tribe predators that modified their genetics. So that's why when they were like, "Oh, it's a super predator," I was like, "Yeah, okay, we saw that already." Like, what? Great.
Like, they lost me, dude. They lost me in the first couple of minutes. I mean, and then I'm like, why would you arrest him and make him in like he's a nut job and put him in a sanitarium? Like, wouldn't you get that guy to help you to find out about the alien threat? Why would you lock him up? That's like 80s when they went to lock up the Ghostbusters because talking about ghosts. Like this is like this is like just awful. Dude, the guy, like, the Predator's there. There was a soldier because it's like was that CGI? Or was like somebody in the suit? Because like it's like they didn't believe they were really fighting something. Like the acting was bad.
Oh yeah.
Like it's like, oh yeah, be scared. Oh, it's like the vehicles were going slow, dude. It was like a senior citizen driving the vehicles.
Well, when that one Predator dog too, when they shot it at like point blank range in the head, and then it had brain damage, and it started acting exactly like a dog from Earth.
Right.
I was just like, oh, sure.
Now that dog died, right? Or no?
I don't even remember.
I don't even know.
Again, that's not something new. We saw Predator dogs in Predators. They weren't the same.
Right.
But the ones in Predators were much cooler and much.
I'm gonna want to reviewing that again. I don't even know if I ever gave a review. I'm gonna. Oh God, bad taste in my mouth.
It was bad. This came out in the same span of time that Alien Covenant came out, and it's just unbelievable how bad both of these series have become. Like, it's just unbelievable.
I'm just gonna make a series of everything shows where I'm just gonna watch all these fucking bad movies and just rip the piss out of it, because I mean, like, I don't know, man. This you know what, we talked about it for a long time, and I know what to expect, right? But I didn't think it was gonna be worse than what we said. Like, worse. Mm-hmm. How could you get worse? Oh yeah, it's worse. I think we were too kind, believe it or not. Well, I think we talked about that movie more than anything. Remember how many casts we did on that movie? I don't even think we gave it justice how bad it was.
Yeah, it was up there. It was up there with the amount of casts we did for like Shin Gojira and stuff. Like,
this is up there on my all-time shit list of crap movies. Oh yeah. Like, I literally, and nobody knows how much I hate friggin' Alien 3. But I gotta tell you right now, I could watch that compared to this shit. And that, you don't understand, Chris, how much I hated Alien 3. Like, to this day, I'll look at the post, I'll spit at it or some shit. It's like I hate it, like genuine anger, you know?
I would rather watch Alien Resurrection than this thing. Like this.
I don't mind Alien Resurrection. I mean, that was just blah, but this was. I'm gonna
go there. I would rather watch AVPR than this.
Jesus Christ, Requiem
had some moments that I was like, oh, okay. This had nothing for me. I was like, this is just
I was confused what was happening. I'm like, but the Predator, and then the Predator's running from people. I'm like, really? Running? Oh, that's new. Like, the Predator want to hunt me? They don't want to whatever? At some point in time, the Predator's like, listen, just, like, without even saying that, like, just back off, man. I'm just going to throw you and just go away. Like, it didn't even go to kill the people. And I'm like, okay. You know. I'm sorry, dude. This was bad, dude. Embarrassing. Unbelievable. I can't even believe how bad this was, Chris. Can't. I'm just at a loss for words. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll have more reviews coming. Take care. Bye for now.